Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday from the Suquamish Office of Emergency Management. In today's brief presentation, we'll cover a general overview of disasters, understanding how individuals commonly respond to disaster, and why it's important to recognize those reactions. We'll also share some videos at the end so you can practice some different techniques to reduce negative reactions when we are facing high-stress situations. Many of us have watched one or more disaster movies. Watching movies about disasters can be a great way to gain insights into what a disaster might look like. If it's a good movie, it will induce a manageable level of anxiety as long as it's not too scary. This kind of anxiety helps us connect to the story and its characters. People often respond with excitement as they wait to see what happens next, and frustration knowing that the characters are making a horrible decision. Internally, we might be assessing how we would react if that event were happening to us, or wondering if this is what we should expect during disasters that happen here. However, it's not uncommon for many to see these movies and think, this is probably what they should expect during the same type of disaster locally. Some do a great job of blending very realistic details from real events. In emergency management, we categorize disasters into 3 different categories. Natural disasters are typically related to weather or geophysical characteristics of the area, like winter storms, earthquakes, or public health emergencies. Technological hazards usually have little or no warning and are often the result of a technological accident or failure, like power outages and oil spills. Human-caused hazards can be really confusing. But the critical thing to know is that they're caused by deliberate actions to bring harm, such as violent extremism, sabotage, and terrorism. Understanding common responses to an emergency, crisis, or disaster is not only a good preparedness action we can take, but it can help save lives. When individuals can recognize and identify their own emotional and physical reactions, it promotes self-awareness, which can lead to self-regulation. Knowing that fear responses during disasters are normal and what they can look like helps individuals feel less alone and may help them recognize when someone might need help getting to a safer space. This can be as simple as reminding or showing someone how to drop, cover, and hold on when an earthquake begins if they freeze at the moment. It can also help individuals develop effective coping strategies or recognize the need to. It promotes community resilience by fostering empathy, support, and collaboration among individuals and organizations during and after disasters. Overall, understanding fear responses during disaster is essential for promoting individual and community well-being and resilience in the face of adversity. We have many shared experiences with disaster. For example, a majority of working adults today have strong memories surrounding the events of 9/11 or Hurricane Katrina, and some of us may even share experiences from disasters abroad. As individuals, many of us have experienced at least one significant natural disaster beyond the pandemic, whether that's a large earthquake, a hurricane, tornado, a significant car accident, major flooding, or another impactful emergency, crisis, or disaster situation. Some of us have a lot of experience going through them, and others may have very little experience. These experiences ultimately impact how we process what is happening and the immediate steps we take for safety. Common fear responses can come in physical responses, like shortness of breath, uneasy stomach, increased heart rate, sweating. Many people respond with emotions. They're confused. They might freeze in shock. Some panic. Some even laugh. Behavioral responses include the commonly known fight, flight, and freeze. Some withdraw and become more isolated. It can lead to disturbances for sleep and insomnia. They might have difficulty concentrating on work or home activities, and sometimes it results in substance abuse. This list is not inclusive of all the different responses that can happen to individuals and groups during or after an emergency, but this is to give you an idea of what commonly can be seen after a disaster. Common reactions in children include separation anxiety. They might regress and start wetting the bed or baby talk. They can have nightmares or disturbing dreams. They can complain of physical ailments like headaches and stomach aches, which are usually related to stress. They might withdraw and also become isolated. They may act out aggressively, fighting or arguing. They might have emotional outbursts or lots of crying. It's important to recognize that these fear responses in children are normal and can be managed through techniques such as deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, and play therapy. Children may also benefit from talking about their experiences with trusted adults or peers. It's essential for parents and or caregivers to provide reassurance and stability in the aftermath of a disaster. It's important to remember that it's normal for people to experience a range of reactions or emotions during high-stress events, and they may not look the same as our own. Practicing grounding and breathing techniques can be helpful for everyday stress, as well as how we manage ourselves during a disaster. Try practicing breathing or grounding skills with a friend or family member. You might learn new skills, or you might be able to teach them a new skill that ultimately helps them either in their day-to-day lives or during high-stress events. The following slides are links to videos on YouTube that cover different breathing techniques, progressive muscle relaxation, and sensory input skills that help us find our grounding during high-stress events. Thank you for spending time with us today. And remember to practice these skills or explore new ones that work best for you and bring you moments of calm during stressful situations. Thank you and have a great rest of the day.